You're listening to the Really Very Crunchy podcast with your hosts, Emily
and Jason. I'm still annoyed.
Why?
Because I got pulled over like 10 minutes ago.
Oh, I was like, that did not sound very enthusiastic, Jason.
I don't like getting pulled over by police officers.
Our kids were kind of having a hard time, and Jason was kind of not taking his anger out on the children, but rather the gas pedal.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. I tend to do that.
I mean, the thing is, the speed limit changes from 35 to 45 pretty quickly.
In that spot, yeah.
And you were going 53.
I just happened to be going 85.
No, 53 in a 35. It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
But he let us off.
Yeah.
He said, thanks for your honesty. So I'm wondering, like, is everybody lying to the cops when they get pulled over?
Absolutely. Oh, sorry, dude. My wife, she's having a baby. He's like, no, she's not.
I don't know. I got pulled over about a month ago. It's been a long time, decade or more since I've gotten pulled over.
Still have more tickets than me, but yeah, go ahead.
Do I?
Yeah. I don't have tickets.
You do.
I had one.
Well,
and it had nothing to do with speeding. I don't have any speeding tickets.
I had one speeding ticket.
In your life?
Yes, one speeding ticket. And it was when I was 18 years old. You
had like 3.
Nope. One speeding ticket.
How fast were you going?
I'm not discussing this right now. Okay, I was 18. How old were you? 18? Like 18. And okay, this guy needed a ride home. Okay.
Really fast.
4 hours away. Okay. It was the last day. We were moving out of the dorms.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was the day before. No, it was the last day. We were all moving out of the dorms. Everybody. You had to move out. And he was taking forever. We were supposed to leave at, I don't know, noon or something.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we left, it was like 10 o'clock at night. I was so mad at this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm just giving him a ride. I'm paying for the gas.
Most people would say, hey, you need to find a different ride.
He didn't have anybody else.
Well, then he could have come in a little earlier. What was he doing?
Piddly farting around.
What is he doing?
I don't know.
That's not a good enough answer.
I know. I was so mad at him. Anyway, my friend Kate was going with me as well. So I'm just angry.
Taking it out on the gas pedal, I see.
Yes. So I was going 100 on the interstate.
That's 3 digits. You heard it here. 100. Is that what they ticketed you for, or were you going over 100?
It may have been 102.
Oh.
They didn't ticket me for that.
What'd they ticket you for?
I think like 85 or something.
See, that doesn't make sense to me. Because it's like, you know what that is to me? That's conspiracy against a judge. Because that is you and the cop going,
No, the cop gave me the ticket for that.
Oh. So the judge changed it.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, not the judge. It was like the district attorney or something. I don't know. I had to go to
somebody's city. Conspiring against that judge.
It was a mess. I was so mad. I was so mad. Listen, first, I was so mad that he was so late. The interstate was empty because nobody was driving at midnight.
Someone was. It was a cop.
They really thought something crazy was happening, too. When they pulled me over, there were 2 of them, and it was just me.
Guns drawn?
No.
Oh, that would have been epic. Get out of the car!
I couldn't find all his junk was in the car. My purse was on the headrest of the car, like of the driver's seat, just so I wouldn't get lost in the car with all his stuff.
Yeah.
But all his stuff was like on my purse. So then I'm on the side of the interstate pulling stuff out.
Man, we're going to have to search your vehicle.
I know. I was just so angry. Anyway, then we get to the house that he wanted me to take him to. And do you know the sleeping arrangements? Because it's so late, obviously I'm staying there now. Me, my friend Kate, and this guy Kevin all slept on a futon.
Huh.
That is not it. I don't really know what.
I think I would have just driven back.
Yeah, I should have. I was so mad. I was just so mad about
anger
the whole thing. Just so mad.
Yeah. And then you had to pay.
Then I had to come back and get... Yeah, and I paid for it. I mean, I paid for the gas. I paid for the ticket.
Did he say he was sorry?
I'm sure he did.
Did he?
I don't know.
Did you, Kevin? Did you? Did you apologize to my wife? Because you have some explaining to do. Why were you late?
I was so mad. Anyway, so that's that story. Then 2 weeks later, I'm helping someone else paint their mother's living room. Okay.
Huh.
And
got pulled over.
It was late because I was like, let's just finish it. And
I was so mad.
I supposedly did a slow and go at a stop sign.
Oh, those are the
where
worst.
Nobody was at 11 o'clock at night.
Oh, there was somebody. There was a cop.
I really think I stopped. Anyway, he pulled me over and I couldn't find my license.
Yeah.
And
Again.
it was
I've never had trouble
weeks.
finding my
I
license.
don't always carry a purse. That was like sometimes I would just carry my license and it was just like floating free,
that's
you know?
a terrible idea.
It was. Anyway, I finally did find it, but he saw that I had this mega ticket not 2 weeks ago, so he gave me another one.
See, that is just rude.
Mm-hmm.
You'd think, oh, you had a mega ticket. Well, you know, maybe.
Okay, but it's
Give
been
her a chance.
so long, and I haven't had a ticket since. Have you had a ticket since then?
No.
Yes.
Not a
Because that
speeding
was
ticket.
before I met you.
Wait, how much was the stop or the roll and go ticket?
A couple $100.
$200 for not stopping
It
at a
was
stop
so
sign?
expensive. I was wiped
Oh
clean.
my goodness. That's excessive. Destitute.
I was broke.
Yeah. Wow.
And
That's
I didn't
rude.
tell my parents about the second one because obviously just had the first one.
Well, you and I were talking about this like when we were younger, being pulled over was a terrifying experience.
Yeah.
You're like, "Oh my gosh."
I'm going to jail.
Now it's just like ugh, so annoying.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Anyway, yeah, I got a ticket
Jason
for
got-
not wearing a seatbelt
In Florida. I was the only one in the car, mind you. We had like 10 friends in the car
You were the only one wearing one.
wearing a seatbelt
Yeah.
in a van.
But it wasn't a law for them to.
Yes, it was only a
Why
7-passenger
weren't we
van.
wearing a seatbelt? Like, I always wear a seatbelt.
You weren't. And I thought it was so weird that you weren't. And I remember saying, buckle up. I think
don't
I
know.
did. But we
That's
were
weird.
just so close to the beach.
I guess I was just so excited to hit them waves. I'd never don't wear a seatbelt. I don't understand. That's weird. And then it was like $100
Yeah.
for not wearing my seatbelt. Click it or ticket,
Mm-hmm.
Florida.
But I did get pulled over, I don't know, like a month ago, going 8 over on a country highway.
8.
That's like you're bored.
Even 1. Yeah. You're just bored.
Let's see. Anyway,
Or trying to hit a quota or something.
he didn't give me a ticket.
This has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about today, which is fine because it's what's on our minds. It's what's going on in our lives. We had 2 kids in the back, not 3, but
That's a really weird way to try and bring in the podcast topic.
I don't know what to title this one except should we have a 3rd kid? I'm 37, you're 35. It's been a topic of discussion for us. And
We feel the biological clock ticking.
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I'm older. I'm definitely feeling more tired.
yeah.
So I just, we are very okay. This feels like a weird, icky topic, honestly.
Why icky?
Because it's like, shall we bring another life into this world?
Yeah.
We use natural family planning methods. And we definitely do the family planning part, which, is sort of controversial.
Yeah.
Some people are just like, we are very open to however many children God wants to give us. And they don't even think about it. They're just free.
Yeah.
And And
No, I don't think this is an icky topic at all. I think
it just feels
because it's not like we're asking people, hey, should we have a third kid? What do you think? No, it's us talking about it, you and me. And I do think it's an entertaining topic because or entertaining or interesting topic, I should say, because I think there's a lot of people in the same boat. There's a lot of people who think none of us should have kids. I'm looking at the comments of the week from the video where, you're like hitting on me, like you want to help the statistics with the population decline problem. There's so many comments where like, oh yeah, it's so terrible for the earth, and you shouldn't have kids, but then there's other people who are like, oh, we have 12, and I don't know. It's an interesting topic in my mind to explore because there's this part of my life. I'm in this stage in my life where I'm kind of satisfied and happy exactly where we are, but there's the other part of me that I'm not done raising little ones. I'm not through with that as a dad. Like I'm not ready to just like I think there's more of me energy wise to give. I think.
Easy for you to say, the one who doesn't have to carry them, birth them.
I said that's why I said
them, nurse them.
As a dad.
Yeah.
Not as a mom. There's two sides of this coin, obviously.
Yeah. So Oaks and Alder are 6 and 4 right now. And have we ever talked about the reason we conceived Alder? Can we do that?
So. I mean, sure.
Okay. So obviously the reason we conceived Alder is because it was meant to be, but Jason has polycystic kidney disease. We've talked about that. And whenever we had Oaks and he was 2, like not even 2 yet, he was a really tough baby. I mean, all babies are tough and needy, but I think we weren't even prepared for the level of neediness that a baby would need. And also he was generally a little more needy than the average baby. More fussy, screamy, less sleepy.
Yeah.
So I definitely was not ready for another child, but Jason was accepted into a kidney drug study.
Yeah.
A study.
Because I have polycystic kidney disease.
Yeah. I wasn't really sure how I felt about it, but it's something you wanted to pursue because you were kind of worried about that whole biological
kind of
ticking.
Not wanting for my kidneys to fail.
Yeah. So you wanted to get in this drug study. Should have been nursed.
I should have been nursed as a child. Thanks, mother. Now I have polycystic kidney disease. You could have stopped my genetic disease.
That's not how it works. So, Okay. Anyway, so you were accepted in this drug trial, and then they had you do a test or something. What happened?
Well,
I don't remember.
Yeah, there was some tests and stuff,
then
but
everything was good. And they said, okay, well, the only thing is you cannot conceive children while you're on this drug.
Yeah.
It could cause
it's a
birth
study
defects
and they have no idea.
Yeah, all these issues. So if you're going to have any more children forever, you have to do it now. So we're like, well, I guess we have to do it now before we are like not having any kids because of this drug.
Well, I could if I had gotten off of the drug.
Maybe.
That we know of.
We're not really sure. And it could have been like however many years, whatever. Anyway, so like we immediately got pregnant and I wasn't ready. I was kind of mourning that, honestly, because I wasn't ready for infancy again. And then maybe, I don't know, 3 weeks after I got pregnant, or after I knew I was pregnant, you got a call and they said, oh, never mind. You are not accepted.
It was something to do with like my age or something. It was something random that they should have already known, I think.
So like to me, that was clearly God saying, this is when you need to have a child, orchestrating.
Pressure's on, Alder. You better do something great, kid. We didn't want you yet. I'm kidding.
Obviously, it's worked out. It's been wonderful. Their age, it's been great.
They're best friends.
I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah.
But then I wasn't ready for a while. Now I feel ready. I feel like I'm going to be much more relaxed. I'm not hardly worried like I have been about the other ones, you know. And for the record, I don't know if this is too personal to share. I did have a miscarriage in our first year of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
It was very early and I didn't even know that I was pregnant. So it's kind of weird for me to think that we could have a 13-year-old.
That's tough. Yeah. That would be we'd be in a very different place.
Yeah.
A good place.
Yeah.
Be a good place.
Strange.
Very
Just
different.
totally different. Our whole life would have changed.
Yeah.
Based on that. And so, yeah, I think like I feel ready, you feel ready, but then we're also in a pretty good place with the kids.
I know.
And homeschooling's going pretty smoothly. And
I feel like,
but all these things sound like such lame excuses.
I know,
like homeschooling's really easy right now, so we're not going to bring another life into the world. You know?
That's what feels weird. Is it weird to contemplate the existence of another soul?
It is weird, and now like I'm sort of feeling.
But everybody
convicted.
does it. No, but everybody. Almost every couple.
I don't know. Now, like, I'm sort of feeling like my whole perspective on everything's changing, and we should have just been open to as many children as God would give us. And now we're going to have like 15 kids from here on out.
I think this conversation changed.
I feel like really guilty about it.
You feel guilty?
Yes, I feel guilty. Like, having that responsibility to think about someone else's life. You were a third child. What if your parents were just like, we're done?
Maybe they did for a while, because it was a few years until I came along. And they're finally like, I guess we're ready. Homeschool's going great, but here's Jason.
Well, here's what I feel like.
He's our favorite.
It's going to be like a year until the baby comes. So
9 months, babe.
Well,
that's how it works.
Do
you not know science?
I would like to be very specific about some nutritional choices that I haven't been making before I try to get pregnant. So
time to quit those Oreos. You've been sneaking.
Whatever. I have not.
You've been getting into my stash. Who's been getting into my stash? It's you.
He's
middle
lying.
of the night.
He's just making this up. No, I'm thinking more like eat more sardines.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm feeling really guilty about it. Since we're talking about it, if you eat a bunch of sweet potatoes, just eat tons of sweet potatoes constantly before you try. Supposedly, that increases your chances of having twins. Should I do that?
So that's try to not do that.
I love sweet potatoes.
I mean, I think twins sounds fun. I mean,
no, that does not sound fun. I have never met a twin mom that didn't have a little bit of a crazed look in her eyes. For good reason.
Oh, they love their kids, but they're just kind of like this little.
You see it.
There's a little bit of a twitch.
And I have more respect for twin moms or moms of multiples than anyone. I cannot imagine. Some people are like, well, it's not that different. You're changing one diaper, so you might as well change two. It is totally different. I cannot imagine. Like, that has to be so intense and stressful. Wow. This one's for you, twin moms.
Yeah. We used to think, I think
I ate a bunch of sweet potatoes before we started trying for Oaks. Didn't work.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay.
I don't think I ate enough sweet potatoes. I think it's got to be like so many sweet potatoes.
That sounds disgusting. That's where I definitely started to fall in the let happen what happens.
Okay. So what about like trying to manipulate the environment for conception in a way that's like more positive for a girl?
What a weird way to say that.
What
about trying to have a girl?
Something about like pH and you're supposed to drink red raspberry leaf tea and lemon juice.
Is that stuff real?
There are people,
real?
I know several people who say they swear by that they have chosen the gender of the child that they have conceived every single time.
I mean, it's a 50-50 chance.
No,
so
you can create.
I chose 2 boys in a row.
You can.
I chose it.
It's based on like pH and acidity and the foods that you consume and positions and things like that you can manipulate it.
Okay. Well,
supposedly.
So how do I feel about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
So would we try for a girl? Because part of me really likes the idea of having a little girl, but part of me, okay, here's why I want a little girl. Girls are going to take care of their mom when they get old, right? Our boys, so I want a little girl. And I also I don't have any sisters.
Your motivation for a little girl is just to have a friend who's going to watch after you.
I really want a friend.
Actually, I don't think that's the worst.
There's always
thing, but to take care of you when you're old.
I mean, is that so bad? It's like my retirement plan.
No, you need to try to figure out how to take care of yourself, monetarily speaking.
Yes, but. Like what if I need help showering or, like the things that old people need.
I don't want to burden our kids with that. If we don't have to. If there's a way to not do that, I would rather them not have to do that.
Yeah, of course. But.
You know why I birthed you. Get in here. Scrub my back.
Not exactly. That's not what I mean.
It's the only reason we had you. We did a podcast about it. Sure, it's still on the internet somewhere. Back when I did that really very crunchy thing.
Am I going to become...
Where are the Oreos?
Really? No. Stop. I can't.
Jason used to stash those Oreos.
Why are you going on and on and on? Like, please stop.
I killed him that night.
No. Yeah.
That was the last podcast we ever did.
That's why I had you.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think like anybody watching this isn't thinking it's funny. It's just you. You're the only one who thinks it's funny.
We leave a comment. Let me know. Was that segment funny? I think it was hilarious.
I'm getting the twin twitch.
Quick. Eat the sweet potatoes. I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
No.
So I don't think it's...
But no, what I was going to say is I just really love being a boy mom, though.
Yeah.
Like I caught a grasshopper the other day and I was the coolest thing ever. And I'm not very girly. So to then have a little girl and like try to satisfy her needs for girliness, because it is a thing.
It
feel
depends
like I
on
would
her
fall
personality.
short.
It depends on her personality.
Little girls innately, generally love like baby dolls and like that kind of stuff. And I am feminine, so I guess, I don't know.
You're
I feel like
worried that you're not going to measure up to what you think a girl mom should be. And that,
yeah, I'm not going to like take there's going to be all this other stuff. I don't want to take her to go get her nails done. That kind of thing. That's like a mother-daughter kind of thing. I'm never really going to worry about
so
the
is
boys.
foraging mushrooms.
Is it?
Isn't it?
Is it what she wants to do?
Well, I mean, kids don't know what they want until you show them.
Yeah.
I mean, kids will figure it out, and they do eventually figure out what they want. But I mean, so there was a time when it was just Oaks and Alder. I guess we were pregnant with Alder, but I was at a point where I couldn't imagine it not just being Oaks. Because, I mean, we loved him. We were so close to him. And I couldn't imagine loving someone else as much as I love Oaks.
That's the thing about parental love, though. It is limitless. It is never ending, able to grow.
And Alder showed me that.
Yeah. And I think like parents who have 12 kids are able to love all of them infinitely.
I've fallen into that trap, too, of like, seeing parents with a lot of kids and thinking like there's no way I could love that many kids equally, and I I'm probably very wrong.
Now, this is one thing that we've talked about. We're worried that we wouldn't have the capacity to pour into more children.
Well, you mean at 3 or like you talking about 4, 5, 6, 7?
Yeah.
Which one are you saying? Like for a third?
Either. I mean, a third.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we have the capacity to pour into a third.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying, then you're outnumbered.
12? I don't know. Yeah, the outnumbered thing is that's real.
But yeah, I would love to shadow a large family someday and learn about how they find moments to connect with each child.
You got to do it for
individually.
like a week or so, though.
Yeah.
You can't just go pick a day because.
Yeah, well, I know.
No, but like maybe even longer than a week.
Mm-hmm.
But who's gonna let you do that? That's weird.
Hey, can I come? I'm just really curious. Can I come live with you?
And I'm here to film.
I just want to watch. I guess that's probably why people liked the Duggars show.
We're back to the Duggars.
We're back on
the last episode, and we still don't know anything about.
We don't know
Duggars,
anything. We're still totally
except they had a
clueless.
lot of kids,
and there's
a lot of books out, about
and
the
there's
Duggars.
a lot of bad stuff.
Controversy.
Yeah, like no more than controversy, crime.
Well, then crime is controversial, so. But yeah, I mean, well, that's the other thing. It's like how much of that came out of just like because of fame and because their lives were upended by television and everything else. And I'm thinking about something I know nothing about in terms of the Duggars. So here we are.
So we haven't gotten the question much. Are you guys going to have more? Some people think that's like a horrible question to ask. I almost always ask people that. You think do you want more kids? Do you what?
That's a
what's
bad
your plan?
question.
Apparently.
Oh.
It's sort of like saying, when are you guys going to have kids? And we were asked that all the time.
I think that one's worse.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like, well, it's none of your business. Like, I don't know. Maybe we don't want kids, whatever. But if you've already had kids, it's perfectly normal to say, do you plan on having more?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just tricky. It's tricky, and I guess it's none of my business.
Do you ask that a lot?
Pretty much every mom that I'm having like a one-on-one conversation with, whenever our kids are playing or, forest friends, whatever, you're just getting to know somebody. I ask
Every mom.
questions.
Are you planning to have more?
Are you planning to have more?
Are
How
you?
about you?
What about you?
Can I get a show of hands, people planning to have
having more
one?
kids?
How about 2? 3?
Yeah. Well.
No, and I have gotten a few replies. It's like, well, I wish I could.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
I should learn my lesson.
Yeah.
Or maybe if you want to talk about it.
Do you ever get the answer of as many as I can? I'm still going.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hope so.
We did the video the other day about you hitting on me, and then we go into the statistics or whatever. Comments of the week. Mama of 10 children here. This is from Homemaker on an Acre.
Oh, that's cute. Homemaker on an Acre. That's really adorable.
It's good name.
Mm-hmm.
Mom, it wouldn't be as good if she owned more land though. Homemaker on
12 acres. Still works?
Yeah, I guess. Well, if you ever need to upgrade, just change your username to whatever acreage you get. I like it.
It's going to be like a whole thing. Homemaker on 3 acres. Homemaker on 3.5 acres. Homemaker on 4 acres.
The economy goes bad. Homemaker back on half acre. Mama of 10 children here. The mister and I have been busy changing those statistics. Laugh face.
Clearly.
Yeah.
I wonder how old she is.
How old are you? Homemaker on an acre?
I mean, that sacrifice to be pregnant for that long. And then if you're nursing and like that, you are giving up yourself, which is really admirable.
Yeah. Debel Chiara, why are we trying to solve this issue? It's better for the climate, not really an issue about the population decline.
Oh.
They're saying people should stop having babies.
So this is interesting because here I am like, I don't think that's the answer. I don't think stopping having babies is the answer. I'm just going to trust that our earth is strong enough to hold the capacity of people being born. I don't know. Or like we already know the end. Eventually, the earth will die.
Yeah.
But then like, yeah, we should be doing our best to slow it down, to steward it well and take care of our resources. Anyway, this is what's weird. I just had this debate in my head the other day because I saw somewhere this mom was saying she used to be crunchy and think about her consumption and try to be like more mindful about not buying Ziploc bags and paper towels and stuff like that. But she decided, forget it. The world is what it is, and there's nothing she should worry about. She should just live her life and trust in Jesus. Have faith, but I also think it is our responsibility to steward our gifts.
Oh, yeah.
Steward the
Crunchy.
earth.
I forgot.
And so it really took me aback. But now here I am, like thinking.
Was there a moment where you considered it and like, oh, you're
no,
right?
not one moment. I was immediately mad. Like you.
Immediate anger.
Immediately. You're being lazy. And you're just saying.
Oh, do you have her username?
I don't know. It felt like just an excuse. Like, and it's not necessarily laziness if you haven't ever been convicted about those things. But then if you have made the choice to ditch those things, and then you're like, well, I'd rather just have the convenience and I trust in God anyway. So what does it matter? You know, like that logic doesn't make sense to me. I was just immediately angry about it. I didn't respond. Just scrolled away. There goes more plastic into our landfills because somebody trusts Jesus. Like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Jason's like giving me the worst face ever.
It was a cringe. It's a little bit of a cringe statement there, but I mean, yeah,
those are the words she said.
You're right. That's not the best way to view things, I guess.
No.
But I mean, you could go, how far are you going to take that? Like, well, that guy, he's bleeding from his car wreck. Trust Jesus. I mean, it's like the Good Samaritan, right? It's like, they passed by and, I hope things work out for you. Trust in the Lord. And then, say a prayer and walk away. Well, they didn't help him.
Yeah.
They didn't help. They weren't stewards of that person that needed help. They weren't stewards of the earth. Same thing, just larger scale, I guess. It's what you're kind of going through right now. You're getting mad at the Good Samaritan story, the other two. That's basically what's going on. You're like, yeah, that third man was better. So I know this is going to contribute to the ick factor a little bit because we're talking about a little human soul that we're may or may not bring into the world, but let's do a pros and cons list.
I
have this written down, a pros and cons list.
This was your plan?
Yeah, I told you this was my plan. I said, hey, you should come up with a pros and cons list. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, I wasn't paying
And then we
attention
started talking, and you're like, oh, we're talking about a human being. This is weird. It is not uncommon for couples to write down a pros and cons list like they're going on a trip or something, whether we're going to Switzerland or Germany, for a child.
Really?
A pros and cons list of having a third child? Do they not? It's easy. Cons. There's multiple bedtimes now.
Oh, that is a con.
We got to put 2 sets of kids down at different times.
Oh, yeah.
Con. Less time away. We don't get that much time away at all, but it's even less with a third. There's a baby. Con. Playdates get a little weird.
No, they don't.
Playdates aren't weird.
No, playdates are totally fine.
Con. Sleep.
That is my biggest con. Honestly, we're finally all sleeping great.
Is another human soul not worth your next 3 years of sleep, Emily?
Surely it's not going to be 3 years. I've got it down. I know how to do the things.
Okay, the next 6 months of sleep.
I'm going to say 1 year, 18 months.
And there's money.
Is that a con?
Yeah, I mean, it can get expensive. It gets
Mhm.
expensive, and it's a terrible time in the economy to, start,
True.
People make decisions like that. I mean,
Yeah, and we don't have health insurance. We have like this MetaShare thing.
I don't think it's MetaShare, but yeah, I think that's an official thing, but it's not them.
It's like, you pay in and your bills are hopefully
basically
covered. Feels so expensive though.
It's very expensive.
It's a hassle to send in all the paperwork.
Yeah, yeah, it is. Our youngest suddenly becomes a middle child.
How does that affect him?
I don't know.
I've heard that birth order determines your personhood. So is that just first,
does
second,
that change if you wait?
third?
Does that change if you wait for a while? Because I mean, he's 4 now. That's different.
Yeah, seems like it would be a pro for him.
He goes from being youngest to being middle.
I am a middle child.
You're a middle child. You share middle status.
So here's
sort of.
I was the baby for 9 years.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's harder.
And then suddenly ripped away.
So I'm not a middle child. What's the problem with the whole middle child thing? What's that all about?
Forgotten.
Is that true?
Sort of. The baby gets all the attention.
I can see that.
The middle child just becomes like, well, in my case, I feel like I was just like, make everybody happy, follow the rules, just do it right, blend in, just make everybody happy, and then it'll be fine. Okay. And so like that is sort of what, then are you pushing yourself? Are you growing? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the middle child thing, but apparently it's not always
horrible.
The best
Everybody
thing
hates
ever.
being the middle child.
Yeah. Well,
we're just
I think if parents are intentional about that, then there might not. And who's the middle child in like 11 kids? Is it 5 or 6? Con. We're outnumbered suddenly and immediately.
Not immediately, because no, me and a baby are still one. There's the 4th trimester is what they call it, and it's attached to me, and so not immediately.
Okay, eventually.
And for like a good year, the baby is still very able to be, just is very obedient, and there's
obedient.
A baby, yeah, a baby's not bucking your authority. Right? Is what I'm saying. Like there's not like behavioral issues with a baby.
Sure.
So the outnumbered thing isn't a problem.
Okay.
It's when they reach
eventually outnumbered.
Yes, except then Alder will be like 9 or 10. There's not really like all the same behavioral.
Kids.
Sorry.
Oaks. It's not their first names, guys. Sorry.
Oaks will be
confused.
Like, yeah, sorry. It is their middle names. Oaks will be like 9 or 10. And
when are we having this baby? He's not even 7 yet.
Okay, he will be 7 soon.
Once we're outnumbered.
Takes a year for me to have the baby.
8.
Takes a year for the baby. 2 years for the baby to even have any sort of
Okay. Gotcha.
need for independence and like.
Okay. I was a 3rd and I was the best out of the 3.
That is a pro.
That is a pro.
Oh, were you the best?
I mean, have you seen my family? Look at me. I'm just kidding.
That's sad.
Oh, that hurts. Oh.
I'm just kidding.
I don't want to hear your pros and cons.
I love you.
Yeah, I know you love me.
Pro, babies are cute.
Well, that's a terrible reason to have a baby.
Same.
It's like the worst reason ever to get a puppy. Like, they're puppies for like 2 days.
Well, kids are cute too.
No. I'm saying
babies and kids are cute.
Oh, that's true.
So
kids are way cuter than
kids last longer than puppies.
Dogs.
Yeah. Kids last. I mean, like the cuteness, 13, 14.
Oaks is still cute. Like,
yeah, and
adorable.
then you then they turn it like handsome and beautiful, and you're
Yeah.
just in awe of that. So it's a totally valid point.
Just like our collie.
Babies are cute. Yeah.
Pro. We've already been through the fire. We've learned so much.
We have learned.
Sorry, Oaks. Sorry, Alder. We had to use you to learn how to properly parent this one child who's going to be perfect in every way. You guys, we love you.
You're great.
Go away. We have another one now. No, but I do think there's something to be said about like
just
you go
knowing
through,
like you're in a groove.
You kind of know what to expect.
Uh-huh.
Not that it's going to be the same personality, and not that there's not going to be new challenges, but you certainly know your mistakes in the past and what to not do that you don't like about yourself or that you don't like about your parenting or whatever. You have a new opportunity to correct that. A new one with a clean slate on a human being in a way. And I'm not saying like it's bad. I'm just saying like it's an interesting thing, especially this far out, 4 years out from our last baby.
I feel like I have a lot more confidence in my mothering.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's
in my abilities
too. Just the confidence. Like when we had our first, like you have no idea what you're doing. It's like the one thing that nobody knows how to teach anybody to do. And if they did, nobody wants to listen to them because you just can't teach it. Personalities are different. And
yeah, every single kid is totally different. So what works for one family isn't going to work for the next. And I actually hate when people are like, it's XYZ. This is what it is. You're the reason your baby's this way. You know, it's like, well, baby temperaments are different. Everybody's different.
Not according to Baby Wise.
Who out there knows anything about Baby Wise?
It's a book.
Let us know if you read it.
Pro. It's another life. That's cool. My cons weren't by any means enough for me to just say, nope.
Yeah.
You know? And my pros are, the pros are always going to outweigh the cons when it comes to another person.
So
in our case,
I definitely have different cons than you. I didn't write mine down like you did yours, but one of my cons is that I have a lot of birth anxiety, and I haven't been feeling anxiety at all for anything for quite a long time. I feel I've learned to handle my anxiety, and it's been great.
That's perfectly valid.
Yeah, and so just I wish that I didn't have fear surrounding birth, but so if I were to conceive, I would definitely need to figure that out and work on it. And also, they say that if you have anxiety in pregnancy or worry or stress or whatever, it does affect your baby's like brain development and their temperament ultimately. So I truly could have been one of the reasons that our first child was kind of a hard baby because I had so much anxiety and stress, and we moved twice in one pregnancy and changed jobs and, just like put a lot of stress on myself. So this is a pro. We're in a good position. I don't foresee us changing anything right now. Things are pretty stable. So
yeah. No, and obviously we're not going to come to a conclusion on this recording. We're just talking it out, and I value hearing. Oh, go ahead.
I have another pro.
Oh, let's hear it.
Maybe with my platform, people would send me cute baby stuff.
Yeah, it'd be great content.
Yeah, it would be such good content.
Baby content. Oh, it's a good business move. Can we get an extra write-off?
Excellent business move. Which is a very rare thing for someone to say. Having a child would be an excellent business move. But it is. It would be so much good content, I think.
That's what a terrible thing to
It's
say.
a terrible reason.
Yeah. No.
Please know that if we have another child,
It has nothing to do with the
content. We would never do that. This really did nothing for me, except I feel guilty forever using natural family planning methods. Like, now I just feel guilty, but I also don't feel inspired. I'm going to become celibate.
Wait. This isn't what I thought it was going to be.
Then I won't have to worry about my decisions at all.
Like, I feel young.
You'll never, when you get old, you'll never look back and be like, I shouldn't have had you. But you might look back and say, I wish we would have had more kids.
That's how I actually approach most of my life with everything. Like, I look at my deathbed scene at the end of my life. I have this imaginary deathbed scene where I'm not going to say, I wish I hadn't done that. Or now there's plenty of things I wish I would have done. But I doubt I'm going to ever say, I wish I didn't go on that trip. Or I wish I didn't say hi to that person. Or whatever. Or I wish I didn't have that kid. You know?
Yeah.
That's not going to happen.
But you could say, I wish I had more kids.
Or I wish I'd, yeah.
I wish I had done that.
Yeah. So,
and I was so we went and looked at a house today. It was the sweetest, most charming house. Like a Dutch door, guys. It had a Dutch door in the kitchen. It was just oozing charm, but it was small. It was much smaller than our current home. And it kind of felt like if we choose this, we're choosing no more kids because there's just like no room in that house. And I spoke to a friend afterwards and I said basically that. And she's like, nah, invest in your family, grow your family. Don't invest in that house. And it sort of it felt good, like, yeah. And it kind of like sowed a seed of contentment for my own home because there is room to grow here.
Well, it's settled then. We're trying for a girl and eating tons of sweet potatoes.
No.
Two girls.
This is not an announcement. Nothing is settled. I'll start eating the sardines, okay? And then we can talk in a couple months.
Yeah.
And there's other stuff. I don't know. Some midwife sent me some things to do.
Yeah. Well.
One of them was take a baby aspirin. And I was like, well, maybe I'll chew on some willow bark. I don't know about that.
Try Vicodin. I hear Loratabs are great for getting a girl.
It has to do with my age, though. She said, gotta plant a willow tree. Wait for it to grow.
I think we could just borrow some willow.
Just order it.
I think by the time the willow tree grew,
then our decision would be made for us.
It'd be past our time, dear.
That kind of makes me sad. Like, I think about planting trees, and if someone who plants trees is someone who cares about the future generations and isn't looking for instant gratification, because I personally want to enjoy that tree that I'm planting.
That's why I plant bamboo. Immediate gratification.
Excessively invasive.
Along with dandelions.
Okay.
All over the yard.
Yeah. You're doing that?
Mushrooms. I'm an immediate gratification kind of guy.
Are you just describing me? Because I'm the one who spreads the dandelion seeds and plants the mushrooms. And
yeah, you hate to wait. You're not a tree. You're not a tree planter. You're a dandelion spreader.
I want to be a tree planter.
Be one. It doesn't take that long, like 20 seconds.
To plant a tree? It's more than that.
You get a seed, you dig a hole, and you plant it.
You're growing a tree from seed?
Well, is there any other way to do it?
Buy a tree.
Somebody doesn't know science.
I understand, but I would love to see you get a seed and plant it and watch the tree grow. Thank you for listening to us debate our lives and the important decisions that we need to make.
I have no idea why you would have wanted to listen to this one, but here you go.
This was Jason's idea.
She approved it.
That's what I'm going to say when we have a third child. This was Jason's idea.
That's fine. Thirds,
For the first half of our marriage, it was all my idea. Go to Korea, my idea. Travel abroad, my idea. Sell everything, buy an RV, my idea. Now it's all your idea. RVC, your idea.
You're welcome.
Podcast, your idea.
You're welcome, everybody.
Third kid, your idea.
Yep.
Thanks again for listening, and we will see you next time.